Voters took to the polls yesterday for the New Jersey gubernatorial primaries. Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill beat out 5 other Democrats to win the party's nomination.
Meanwhile, businessman and former New Jersey Assemblymember Jack Ciattarelli will be the Republican nominee. Joining us now to break down what's next for voters, Dr. Matthew Hale, Associate Professor of Political Science at Seton Hall University. Doc, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about turnout. It's usually a concern in primaries, but with this, it's a little bit different because this is such an important race and there's so much money that has been spent already on this. What was the turnout like?
This was actually one of the best turnouts ever in the history of New Jersey primaries. Part of it was there was a lot of competition. They had 11 good candidates between the two parties. And so about 250,000 more people turned out this time than on average in previous years. And
do you expect the same come the general election?
This is going to be a competitive race. You have two candidates. They're both polished. They're both professional. They both, have different viewpoints. So I think it's going to be a competitive race, and I think we could see a lot of turnout as well.
New Jersey is incredibly diverse racially, economically, geographically. See any major shifts in voting patterns among key groups or regions?
We didn't. The biggest change is that we had more people running on both Democrat and Republican side. But at the end of the day, the two candidates on both Republican and Democratic side ended up being middle of the road, moderate centrists. And that's the type of folks that New Jersey elects historically. So
the Democratic poll was competitive. How did Mikey Sherrill manage to pull ahead?
So I think the biggest thing for her is that she was able to be a lot of different things to people. If you looked at her and sometimes she would be talking and you think this is a very progressive candidate, and then she's in her bomber jacket, so maybe she's not. So she appeals to a broader audience than the others who might have been a little bit more niche, either progressive or conservative. She had the broader view.
The Republican candidate, Jack Ciattarelli, how did his platform resonate with primary voters in your estimation? And will that message translate to a broader audience in November? I know he's been around a while, obviously, so both of these candidates have great name recognition.
So this is Jack Ciattarelli's third time running, so a lot of people know him. The big change for him this year is that he was ahead with money, ahead with organization, ahead with endorsements, and then he got Donald Trump's endorsement, and that really sort of put him over the top. That works in a primary, might not work in the general election. We'll have to see.
And what will each candidate need to do to win over the undecided voters?
So I think the first thing that you're going to see is that Mikey Sherrill is going to talk about how close Jack Ciattarelli is to Donald Trump and try and use that as an anchor for him. And similarly, Jack Ciattarelli is going to try and paint her as a far left candidate. And so the point that both candidates are going to do, they're going to try and make the other one look like an extremist.
As far as the key issues facing New Jersey voters, what is number one on the priority list, you think?
It's absolutely economic issues. Affordability, property taxes, those are always the number one issues in New Jersey. It's an expensive state. We get a lot for it. But at the same time, people are really struggling with property taxes and affordability, even finding housing. So I think all the economic issues are going to be first and foremost.
Dr. Matthew Hale, Associate Professor of Political Science at Seton Hall University. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And stay with us for all the latest results on the primary election by heading over to CBS New York.